The heroines of this era find themselves in another mire, as they expected. And even Li Sushan, who left home for adventure at a young age, could not help but lament the current situation. People say seeing is believing, but here in the imaginary space is one strange thing after another. The black fire flaring up, an elevator that won't go down, space suddenly distorting. I don't know this Kevin you feared has so many skills. If Great Master has trained for 5,000 years, he probably didn't waste a day in 50,000 years. I have a feeling it isn't all Kevin's doing. During my days in World Serpent, the Kevin I saw didn't display the ability to overcome the Herrscher of the Void. That's not entirely true, Miss Raiden. I've been reading a detective novel that says, when you have eliminated all which is impossible, then whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Sushan, that doesn't apply if you don't have any clues. Is that so? Yeah, but the point isn't who trapped us here, but how we get out and keep going. After looking around, they were able to confirm one thing. While the elevator descended endlessly, space was rapidly rebuilding itself, as Kiana and Mei had experienced in mind space. When the light returned, a corner of the extra dimension appeared before them, an eerie, foreboding labyrinth. We're in a labyrinth, so we just need to find its exit. And the best way to do so is to split up, and the first one to find the exit can call the others. But doing so might put us right where the enemy wants us. Brania was about to cut in, but you beat Brania to it. But Kiana summed it up nicely. Whether this is Kevin's doing or not, these obstacles are clearly meant to slow us down. And giving us a series of choices in various situations may just be a way to conceal the tactical intention of taking us down one by one. Yeah, unless it's necessary, we should stick together. In that case, to ensure we don't lose any combatants in the imaginary space, please let Sushan and I take the lead in battles. You three make a perfect team. This way, when we come across a tough opponent, you'll be refreshed and ready to fight. This reminds me of the tunnel that crosses through bubble universes. But the physics should be pretty different, right? Even for a maze, this is too quiet. There's no trap on the path or monsters waiting to jump out. Ah! No problem, Kiana. Piece of cake. Indeed, these enemies aren't that powerful. Let's take care of them quickly. It really is quite strange. These assassins have a human form, but when you take them out, they turn into mist. If this is like a bonus stage to try to trap us, these guys would be like NPCs. What I mean is, they might be part of the space itself, inseparable from it. We need more evidence before we start drawing conclusions.
受剑心之道吧！形随意动，以心为窍，以养利剑。到此为止了，开吵了！
They may not be very strong, but these assassins just keep coming. If what Branya said is right, they're just like an endless stream of Honkai beasts. Ah, that sounds exhausting. Let's quickly find the exit.
我们还是快点找到出口吧。以心为窍，以养利剑。
That's weird. It feels like we've been walking forever, but there's still no sign of an exit anywhere. Just like when we were dragged into the theater of domination by puppets. I was also brought to the theater of domination by Otto, but according to Genius, this area isn't as large as the theater of domination. It feels more like the infinite cloister. Infinite cloister. Dr. Einstein said, during the Battle of the Second Eruption, Siren created a closed space known as Infinite Cloister to trap Kiana's parents. But by attacking one point repeatedly with all their might, their attacks tunneled through the Infinite Cloister and forced Siren to separate it from her body. Brute forcing their way through. Reminds me of a certain flame chaser in the Elysian realm. He taught me that even if you're stuck in imaginary space, you can breach the space itself by attacking it with everything you got. With that said, it's unclear if this maze is closer to the theater of domination, the infinite cloister, or the Elysian realm, or if it's completely different from all three. This is purely a feeling, but I feel like it's not so much a completed structure as a natural occurrence. The space appears to extend indefinitely, and there isn't really a sense of being closed off. So, like our previous encounter, as a space that's more natural and open, it might grow on its own. In other words, this maze will grow as we go, generating new paths. I see, much like what you and Fuhua experienced at the theater of domination. But how would you confirm it? By repeatedly testing and comparing data at different locations? Nope, just find the loophole that must exist and you're good. She pointed to as far as her eyes could see. When we move forward, the path moves forward. So when we stand still, the path also stands still. So what happens when we go somewhere even further than the horizon itself from here? But you said if we move forward, the path moves. Oh, I get it. Then it's up to Kiana. Yep. At the theater of domination, the puppets trapped Fuhuan and me by tearing down one wall to build another. Back then, we had to spend a lot of time figuring it out. But with Kiana here, we can get straight to the answer. Well, I'll give it a try. For Kiana, who had by now regained her authority, teleporting in flat space-time was easy. With a snap of her fingers, the black portal appeared before everyone's eyes. We're back to where we started? It's probably my fault. I'll give it another try. Wait, Kiana. Before blindly trying again, let's analyze what went wrong. You can sense the space is open, but what about the space shape?
再仔细调查一下整个空间的形状，怎么样？
While it isn't the same as the infinite cloister, the most confusing element of any maze is how it's shaped.
有道理。
That makes sense.
也许我们
Maybe
之前
we've
的粗略调
overlooked
查
something
真的忽
before.
视了什么。
Kiana closed her eyes. For the herdscher of the void, perceiving space was effortless. Like taking a breath, like the beat of a heart, constantly happening so long as she is alive. Like the sense of touch or smell, only when she concentrated on it did this sense occur in her subjective consciousness. The veil covering the truth drifted to the ground. Unlike the bridge before, the more distant the space was, the more complex it became on a higher dimension, like turning gears mashed together. It was not only difficult to picture the space or locate a single gear, but also painful as the senses were crushing the mind back and forth. But she refused to quit. After all, her friends were counting on her. With this thought in mind, she opened the portal once more. However, the world seemed to mock her effort. On the other end of the portal was not the end, but the past. She tried several times, each time changing the position of the doorway and the landing point, but the results were still unsatisfactory. One more
我再
try.
试试。
Kiana, take a break.
先休息一下吧。 我
Alright. I'm sorry, Kiana, but
天哪，
Brownia has
很
been
抱歉。
thinking, and the
在你尝试的
conclusion
过程
is
中 ，Brownia 一直在思考，而思考的结果就是
this isn't your
这
problem.
不是你的问
It's
题。
Brownia
是
making the
Brownia
wrong
推测的误。
assumptions.
但
But thanks to your
这多亏
effort,
了你的努
Brownia
力
was able to figure
，Brownia
it
才能
out
在这
so
么短的时
quickly.
间内理解可能的真相。
It's not the maze that's
发生异
changing,
变的
but
不是这
us.
座迷宫，
More
而是
specifically,
我们自
there's
身。
likely a spatial
更
force
准确地
field
说，
above us that's
此
following
刻
us.
在我们的头顶，或许有一个正跟随着我们不断移动的特殊立场。
This force field
正是
makes
因为
it
特殊立
so
场的
that
存在，
you can't use your
天然的
spatial
空间能
ability
力才无
beyond
法
the
延伸到
maze.
迷宫之外。
Force field?
立场
What do you mean?
那是什么意思？
Brownia should have
刚
explained
才
it
Brownia
better
的说法
to put it more
的确不够直
graphically.
观。如果用更容易理解的方式来表
It's
达，
like an electromagnetic wave.
它可能
May, you
就像
should
是一道
know
电
why
磁波。
it can travel
你
through
还应该很
vacuum.
清楚电磁波能够穿越真空的原理
Yes,
吧？
a changing electric field gives
变化的
rise
电
to
场
a
会
changing
催生变化
magnetic
的磁
field,
场，
and vice
而
versa.
变化的
So
磁
the
场又会催
electromagnetic
生出
waves
变化的电
continue to
场，
travel to infinity.
电磁波就这样向着无穷远不断传导下
So you
去。
mean the space
所以
beneath
你
us
是
can
指
extend
我们脚
infinitely
下
on
的
its
空间也
own
像电
like
磁
an
波一样，
electromagnetic wave?
凭自己的力量就可以无限延
But
伸。
if that's true,
可
it
这样
should
说来，
merely form a limited
它
closed
不应
loop.
该仅仅形成一个有限的闭环。
Right, this phenomenon is hard to
这的确是一
explain.
个很难解释的现
A
象。
field that curls on
好自发
itself
卷丝的
shouldn't
立
form a
场，使
stable
它无法形
space,
成稳定
but
的空
in a
间。
bubble universe
除
in the
非
sea of
是像
quanta,
量子之海的
different
世界泡那
forces are
样，受不同
interacting.
属性的力互相作用，
Different forces interacting,
互相作用。
like yin and yang.
就像太极图那样吗？
The way of the heavens lies in
天
yin
之
and
道，
yang.
曰
The
阴
way
与
of the
阳。
earth lies in
地地之道，
flexibility and
曰柔
rigidity.
与刚。
The way of the
地
human
人之
lies in
道，
kindness
曰
and
仁与
justice.
义。
All things exist
就是
because
说，
of two
必须有
conflicting
两种不同的
forces.
力量相互博弈，才能确立出万事万物的存在来。
Two conflicting
两种不
forces.
同的力量，
What are you thinking?
想到什么了吗？
Well, if two different forces
如果
intertwine,
有两种
they
完
may
全不同的
result
力
in
量
a
交
new
织在一起，
balance. Just
它们或
like,
许会达成一
no,
种新的
forget
奇
it.
妙平衡，就像，不，没什么。
Huh. It looks like my guess might accidentally make sense. At the very least, we should test if the Herrscher and the Stigma Awakened share this dual relationship. You mean the composition of our team is what caused this maze to trap us? It's just a guess, but it doesn't cost us anything to test it out, right, Branya? Indeed, we can test the hypothesis so long as we split up appropriately. Well then, let's give it a try, yeah? Sounds good. Better than everyone being stuck here. Uh-huh. Then I'll stick with Durandal, and you three will stick together, and we'll go in two separate directions. But how will we contact each other? If the space here doesn't change in a pattern, need I use my Herrscher of Thunder powers to call you? That's one way to do it. But Kiana, I want you to take this. This is the genius we use in Coloston. Yes, in most cases, it'll pinpoint our location. With May's ability, there shouldn't be any issue. Let's start? Go ahead. You've settled down, Lyle. Don't mention it. After I got back, Sora... Nothing. Anyway, if you find something new at the recycling dock, you can tell about it when Sora's not around. I have a feeling the recycling dock can dig out chain guns, tanks, and the like. My hunches aren't reliable, though. I get it now. Sora doesn't have an easy life. Lyle, the items that couldn't be recycled have been excavated. But they're just normal ores. Maybe they belong to the categories that the recycling dock couldn't identify. All of them? In such a short time? I see. Sora is really hiding her light under the bushel. I gotta learn more moves from her. He's interpreting my words the wrong way again. But then again, my hunches aren't reliable. Then the other area that can be recycled. I know, the things buried there must be worthless junks. They can't be chain guns and tanks. His hunches are certainly individualistic.
世界的景色。舰长要带希儿去哪儿？舰长要带希儿去哪儿？希儿正在前往目的地。希儿很怀念这个世界的景色。希儿，收到。外面的世界很危险，希儿会小心的。舰长要带希儿去哪儿？舰长要带希儿去哪儿？舰长要带希儿去哪儿？希儿，收到。外面的世界很危险，希儿会小心的。希儿很怀念这个世界的景色。不能再让姐姐受到任何伤害。审判的时刻到了，安息吧，拥抱你的力量吧，希儿。岩上的之光。审判的时刻到了，不许你伤害希儿的朋友。拜托了，另一个我真拿你没办法。该我出场了。去吧，希儿，去守护我们的约定。
You better say something. Transformation is a big waste of power. About this body. That's thanks to Cleo. Although I was ready, it's still a good thing to be alive. I wasn't comfortable at first, but after all these years, I'm used to finding joy amidst sorrow. Don't think that's a shortcut to mechanical immortality. Not trying to belittle humans, but in the end, the body is a prison for the mind. Emotions and even thoughts are fundamentally manipulated by hormones and neurotransmitters. When Cleo finished modifying me, she warned me that one day I'd lose all my emotions and become another artificial intelligence. Now you know I'm not kidding for fun. This is how I maintain my personality, or what it was. Pretending to be myself. It's real if I fake it well enough. But people like me don't really exist in World Serpent anymore, do they? I've heard rumors that these mechanically modified by Jackal herself are prone to betraying World Serpent. Ha, just joking.
所要做的，仅仅是完成使命。审判的时刻到了，已经没事了，无需休息。
希儿知道了。来捉你们了！自由的感觉真好。